Welcome back, everybody, to Big Apple Hockey, because I have a guest with me now. Rangers Review, Statboy Steven with me. And we're going to discuss Game 4 and other notes about the game. Steven, let me just ask you this question right off the bat. Who should be the Game 4 starter? Because I think it's insane to even say the words Georgiev.
Look, the only way you should have this conversation is if you have a 1A, 1B goalie tandem, which we don't. The Vegas Golden Knights was the last year when they had Fleury and Leonard. That's a conversation you can have. But Shesterkin, Georgiev, that's a clear starter backup situation. There's no scenario where Shesterkin is healthy and not starting for you in the playoffs.
Georgiev should pray to be Glenn Healy and Mike Richter. Never mind Richter Van Beesbrook.
I also went through Shesterkin's career in the NHL this afternoon. Just to see how he responds to giving up 4 goals. In his NHL career, Shesterkin's save percentage coming off a game where he gives up at least 4 goals is .941.
Wow.
Yep.
That's better than Henrik, correct?
I'd have to go through Henrik Lundqvist's save percentage after giving up 4. That's going to take a little longer because that's 15 years of games I have to go through. But maybe I'll go through that tomorrow. But for reference, Louis Dominguez's save percentage after making 32 saves the previous game is only .913. So, of course, it's not always indicative, but it is interesting to look at how goalies bounce back after a bad game.
So then that leads me to ask you this question. Is fatigue a factor for the Rangers or for the goalies in this case?
For Shesterkin, it shouldn't be. I mean, he played 1 period on Saturday, so he should be fresh. Of course, that triple overtime game in Game 1, that definitely plays into it a little, but that's probably the only point where you could actually give Domingue the advantage, because he didn't play all 6 periods that game. Because of course they started with Casey DeSmith.
Yeah.
But look, I think it's not so much the minutes played; it's more the workload and the defense leaving him out to dry. And I said this in the chat in the previous video, but the Rangers have had 3 playoff games ever going to triple overtime. First one was, I think, 1971 with Eddie Giacomin in net.
Remember Stemmer's goal. Pete Stemkowski is the winner.
Yeah. The second one was Henrik Lundqvist against the Capitals in 2012 with the Gaborik triple overtime winner.
Yep.
And then last week, Tuesday, was the third one. Now, the number of saves made in each one of those games by Ranger goalies: Giacomin, 24, which is ridiculous in 6 periods.
Yeah.
Lundqvist, 45, which is a combined of 69. Igor Shesterkin on his own made 79 saves.
It's still just so ridiculous.
Igor Shesterkin made 10 more saves than Lundqvist and Giacomin combined in their triple overtime games as a Rangers goalie.
Like that's just ridiculous to even think about.
It is. Look, the Rangers need to do something different from Game 3. My biggest concern when I was watching the game on Saturday it wasn't that they were giving up power play goals. That shit happens, You take a bad penalty, it happens. My bigger issue is this did not look like a team that saw their goalie get run twice the previous game. In Game 2, you had Evan Rodriguez after 1 minute slew-footing Shesterkin behind the net, and then at the end of the game, when you're up 3 goals with 2 minutes to go, Jeff Carter runs Shesterkin again. I expected the Rangers to come out flying for Game 3 after that happened. It's like they had 2 weeks off and forgot about it. But this was only 2 days later. Tonight for Game 4, I need to see something different. I need to see them come out flying. I need them to put the pressure on for a full 60 minutes. Also, I need Patrick Nemeth out of the fucking lineup.
I had to cut short some of the comments yesterday because it was just everybody hates Patrick Nemeth. But
I don't hate Patrick Nemeth. I hate the way he plays.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
He might have been he might have been a decent defenseman about 15 years ago, but
I
definitely
have
not
no
now.
problem with Patrick Nemeth as a person. I'm pretty sure he's a really nice guy. He's just terrible. He reminds me of Michael Koska, with the difference that Michael Koska never assassinated his own goalies. Because
I mean,
aside
I
from the
also
fact,
don't understand why there's an epidemic of defensemen pushing people towards their goaltenders.
I don't know, Darnell
Brian
Nurse hit me
Dumoulin
up today.
shoving Capo Caco towards the
Yeah,
goaltender, which it was a goal.
Darnell Nurse yesterday with his Grundstrom.
Yep. Which, by the way, I wanted to make a video about this being in more detail. Why was Grundstrom's goal a goal and Heedle's not?
Yeah.
Can the NHL break that one down for me?
Going back to that, look, there needs to be less ambiguity about this rule.
Yeah.
If you get touched by an opponent, that should negate any goaltender interference. It should be that simple. If you get touched by an opponent on your way crashing into the goalie, it should not be goaltender interference, and the goal should count.
Yeah.
Um,
And by the way, extending what I've been saying along all Saturday night, think of how big that play looms over this series. Because first, the Rangers should be up 2-1. Big goal for the kid line. Their spirits are lifted. Maybe Pittsburgh drops game 2 anyway. So then after that,
here you go already with, because we're talking about, I don't want to go all back to the future on you here, but when that goal counts, you're talking about a completely different timeline, where the Penguins go into game 2 with a different mindset, with a different attitude,
and their same goaltender,
Casey DeSmith, doesn't get injured. So it's a bit too easy to say, well, if we win that game, then because Goudreau might still be healthy. I don't know when he got injured, if it was during regulation or during one of the 3 overtime periods.
Exactly.
There's a I don't know. Did Lindgren come back in game 1?
Lindgren was in the second period. He came back for the third, skated a little bit, and then went back off, I think.
Yeah, okay. So Lindgren would still be out. But this is about the whole, you have to go back to the past to that.
Yeah.
If you
gotta go back to 1955 to change the events and move forward again.
Exactly. So you're talking about a completely different scenario there, where the Penguins go into game 2 with a different mindset. So you never know what's going to happen. The Rangers, the most frustrating thing here is that the Rangers lost 2 games that I'm not going to say should have won, but could have won. They were winnable games. Game 1 is unfortunate. Game 2, you come back strong, you win, great. But game 3 pissed me off, because this fan base has been bitching and moaning about the referees for a week and a half. But tied 4-4, you're down 4-1. You come all the way back to 4-4. And then in the third period, you get 3 consecutive power plays. You play 6 full minutes with a man advantage, and you cannot score a goal.
I said in the playoff preview that we did that the penalty box game, if they want to play a power play game, it favors the Penguins. The Penguins penalty killing is better than the Rangers penalty killing, even though the Rangers power play right now is better than the Penguins power play.
Yeah.
It's don't get in that entire thing. What we want, I think what we want in general is, and we as in fans, any fan, consistency in our refs. You can't just call 3 straight penalties for the Penguins and then 3 straight for the Rangers. Yeah. They're not infallible. I mean, consecutive penalties happen all the time, but when it's 3 straight in one game, please. And
I remember game 7 in 2013 against the Capitals. I think it was game 7. We played at home. I think we beat them 5-0 or something.
No, that was at Washington.
Oh,
2013 Washington.
No, so there was the 1-0 game with the Brian Boyle goal then in game 7.
Wait, hold on. 2012 was 2-1. That was when that was at home, and 2015 was the 2-1 game with Derek Stepan.
No, I'm talking about 2013 against the Caps.
Oh, I'm
First
sorry.
time.
That's Game 6. You're right.
First time.
And that was Derek Brassard.
There was a game in that series where the Rangers had 0 penalties called against them, and Capitals fans were furious.
Yeah, that was one of those games that Henrik just turned into a wall.
Yeah, sometimes those games happen. Look, the best way to describe NHL refs is consistently inconsistent.
I think there is no better way to describe them than that.
My issue is not that they are bad. My issue is that on any given day, you never know how a play is going to get called. When Kakko scored that goal, when Hedl scored that goal in game 1, my fiance's brother was texting me. He's like, oh my God, we're up. I'm like, oh, let's take a minute here. You know, I wasn't even cheering when that happened because I knew that it was going to be at least reviewed or it was going to be challenged. And it's not that I expected the refs to be against us because I'm sick and tired of that too. Ranger fans complain about that all the time. Oh, the refs hate us. The refs do not hate the New York Rangers. For a city with such a rich history in sports and for such a proud people that New Yorkers are, they really have this weird complex where they think they're always the victim when it comes to referees in sports.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's not a thing. If there was one team the NHL would favor, if they would actually rig games, if there was one team they would favor, it would be the New York Rangers. It's their biggest market. It's their least successful Original Six team. If there's one Original Six team that needs help, it's the fucking Rangers.
Mm.
You know, 4 cups.
Well, the Blackhawks blew by him in the last decade. That's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, but even before the Blackhawks won, you know, it's not like the Rangers were like miles ahead of them in terms of success.
No, they weren't. No.
You know, if there was one team the NHL would favor if they were rigging games, it would be the Rangers. The refs are not against the Rangers. The refs are just, I don't want to say incompetent. The refs are just consistently inconsistent. And
best way to put it.
The way I always compare it to missing the bus. You know, when you wait for you take the bus to work every morning, right? Or you when you were younger, you took the bus to school every morning. People always say, oh, every time I get to the bus stop, the bus just drove off, which is not true because it usually happens like maybe 1 every 20 times. The problem is negative things stick with you longer than positive things. So you think that you always miss the bus. If a bad call goes against your team, you're like, oh, we always get bad calls against us. But no one's talking about the bad calls that go in our favor. Everyone's talking about the first Penguins goal where Nemeth knocks the goal off of the pegs, and everyone's like, oh, that shouldn't count. And then Andrew Copp scores the same goal. And, you know, it's the exact same rule, and it was implemented. It was applied the exact same way. And, yeah, sometimes there's a call that goes against you.
One thing I got to bring up about that goal, and by the way, and I mentioned that yesterday when I was doing the post-game or a show about it, the Copp goal, when he bats it in and they point to it and they say it counts and we're all celebrating, Chris Letang is forcefully pulling the net off. And you know what that reminds me of? If hopefully you remember this, Game 4 versus the Boston Red Sox in 2004, Alex Rodriguez had a ground ball that he tried to slap Bronson Arroyo's glove. And it was just the absolute worst. Like when you're doing that, it's just that Chris Letang might be a Hall of Fame defenseman, and he's doing stuff like that. And don't get me that is a smart play. That's a poor sportsman.
It's a smart play if you can get away with it.
And the Pittsburgh Penguins have done that on numerous occasions.
Yeah, the rule's in place for a reason. The reason that rule exists, and the reason it was called against the Rangers for that first goal is because the rule's clear. If the defensive player dislodges the net and the offensive player is in a scoring position, so he scores afterwards, The goal counts if the puck enters the goal where the frame of the net
Would be, yeah.
would be. So unless the puck goes in through where the side netting would be or underneath the frame when it's lifted, if it goes in through the crease between where the posts are, it counts.
And I think one reason why they changed that rule, because they changed that rule, I think, a while ago. Because I remember a game for the Rangers versus the Montreal Canadiens. This is how far back I'm about to go. Doug Gilmour was the guy that had the puck on for the Canadiens. I want to say it was the year 2000, and they were trying to chase a playoff spot. Gilmour went in and slid the puck in, and the net came down forward, just past Mike Richter, and the Rangers, and they ended up disallowing the goal, saying it was off its plane.
Yeah, and you know this is why rules change all the time. And I was gonna bring up Roger Nilsson, former Rangers coach. I mean, this guy is in the Hall of Fame in the builder category. He should be in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah,
for triggering so many rule changes. When he was a coach, he would just tell his goalie when the goalie skated to the bench for an extra attacker to leave his stick in the crease, because then it will block the puck that would go into the empty net. So they changed the rule. The goalie cannot leave his stick in the crease. Then he told his goalies, before you skate to the bench for the extra attacker, ruin the crease a little bit, make some snow, make like a pile of snow, because that might stop the puck. And then they introduced a rule that is not allowed anymore. But the reason this rule exists with the goal is the same reason they don't blow the whistle for an injury unless the team that has the injury has the puck. With the exception is if a goalie is injured, of course. But if the refs will blow the whistle every time there's an injury, you can just fake an injury to basically counteract a 2-on-1 breakaway.
Mm-hmm.
The moment your opponent has a breakaway, you fake an injury.
Like the Islanders goalie did, the minor league guy, I forgot who it was, did that. It was a 2-on-0, and he just pushed the net off. And he said, "Oh, it's a penalty shot now, so now at least I get one of the two of them shooting on me instead of both."
I remember when Lundqvist did it. Was it against the Capitals?
Penguins, he did it against the Penguins but his fury was with the ref.
Yeah.
On that play.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris G put this comment in. Just bad news at a press conference. Gerard Gallant admitted Igor got rattled by the crowd. To add insult to injury, the video was edited by anyway or a bit removed. Igor can't be too happy about that. I'm not too worried about Igor Shesterkin mentally speaking, because you're talking about a guy who allowed 2 goals in his first 2 NHL shots and still won the game. So Igor's mentality, I think, is going to be fine. What do you think?
I mean, Gallant admitting that Igor got rattled by the crowd. How does he know? Did Igor tell him?
I don't know. That's a great one.
Pretty sure he didn't. That's
a great one. Hey, John D. Lee.
I think it's. I don't think he got rattled. It's a different experience though, playing a playoff game on the road.
Yeah, and playing his first. His second's going to be a different story.
Well, yeah. So technically, his first ever playoff game was a road game, but that was in the bubble in Toronto in an empty arena. So
yeah,
it doesn't count. I don't even count it as a playoffs. I count it as postseason, but not playoffs.
I just say it doesn't exist because the Rangers didn't win a game. I mean, and that way you can also say, hey, the Maple Leafs didn't blow another first round playoff series. And that playoff series didn't exist.
Speaking of the Leafs, they're tied 2-2. Same with the Hurricanes. Everyone thought they were going to cruise through to the next round. Florida Panthers too. Every series is tied in the East after 4 games. It's ridiculous.
It's why they're series, and it's why they could turn on a dime. And I said it, I tweeted it out yesterday, and you joined in on that too. It's, anything can change. And hey, look at the last time the Rangers were down 3-1 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In game 5, they got a healthy Chris Kreider back. Marty St. Louis' mom passes, and Henrik Lundqvist is facing elimination, and you know his record against elimination. So all those factors put in, they won Game 5, they go on Game 6, and I still didn't believe they were going to win Game 7 until the armpit save. And then after that, it was, oh my God, we're going to actually win this.
So let's reverse the situation, right? Rangers start on the road against the Penguins. They win Game 1, they lose Game 2, then they go home to the Garden and they win Game 3. They're up 2-1 after 3 games. How confident are you as a Rangers fan that you're winning that series? Up 2-1.
Up 2-1, I'd be pretty confident. That the Rangers are up 2-1, or
no, the Rangers are up 2-1 in the series. How confident on a scale of a 0 to 100? Give me a percentage.
Oh, that we're flipping. All right, so we're flipping the home. So the Rangers are.
So you win Game 1, you lose Game 2, you win Game 3. Now you go into Game 4. How confident are you on a scale of 0 to 100 that the Rangers are winning the series?
I'd probably say I'll say 77%, because I think that's what the two teams tied at 1, what it usually is.
That's quite high, actually.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of Ranger fans this afternoon, and they're like, yeah, maybe 50-50. And I go, okay, if your confidence level to win the series up to 1 is 50-50, why are you all doom and gloom when we're down 2-1 after 3?
Exactly. I mean, 51 is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I do have to point out this, and one of the ones that I kind of went on a tangent about yesterday. Pittsburgh Penguins have been in this situation before. They've been in it last year, and the Islanders shut them out in Game 4, won Game 5 in overtime when Pittsburgh was outplaying them because Tristan Jarry had to pass the puck to Josh Bailey, and they were a no-show in Game 6. So this game is far from over. This series, I mean.
Yeah.
It's far. By the way, just once again to get your Chiron on, if you guys haven't watched Rangers Review, there's Statboy Steven. I know you probably have, because come on, why wouldn't you watch that sexy face? And
if you don't follow me on Twitter now, what are you doing with your life?
I know, I got to say that too. You got to follow him on Twitter. It's a fun read.
By the way, I know we shouldn't be talking about this because this is just where Rangers playoff hockey, but Brandon Othman 7 points in his last 2 games in the playoffs in the OHL.
Hey, by the way, I also got to mention that jersey that's right behind you, Ryder Corsac. Entry-level deal.
Yeah. No, Corsac joined the fray. Adam Edstrom signed his ELC 2 days ago. So Hartford's going to be fun next year. Going to be some new faces. Yeah,
he's definitely going to Hartford, right?
I don't think he's going to stay in the WHL for another year. Rempe and Cooley are also going to Hartford. So yeah, we'll have some fresh meat in for the Wolfpack.
And the prediction that we're still saying is that, I think you reported it. Othman might be up, or the Rangers have informed them. Whoop! I hit my microphone screen over. Othman might be up with the Rangers next year.
Yeah. So the thing with Othman is, I see a lot of similarities in how he's treated to the way the Rangers treated Elias Anderson in 2017. Now, don't freak out. I'm not comparing the players. I'm just saying the way the Rangers are treating him. They assigned a personal skating coach to him, even though he's not playing with the team. He's playing in juniors. They already set up a training schedule with him over the summer where he will report to Ben Prentice. Same thing with Elias in 2018. Everything the Rangers are doing, the frequency of the Rangers checking in on Othman, which is more frequent than some other prospects, everything leads me to believe that he's going to at least start in New York next season. And I know a lot of Ranger fans are focused on that 9-game threshold because that's when the entry level still slides, contract. I don't think for general managers that's really an issue. General managers are very happy to burn a year of an ELC. We've seen it recently with like top prospects in Owen Power, Matty Beniers, previously with Casey Middlestat. I think Quinn Hughes, Kyle McCarr, because sometimes there is an advantage to burning a year off of an ELC. You get to negotiate the second contract a year early. theoretically that could be right before their breakout year, so you're saving money on that second contract. The number of games to look for with Othman is 39. If a player is on the team for 40 games or more, either playing or as a healthy scratch, that season counts as a pro season towards UFA eligibility. In short, what it means is if Othman is on the team for 40 games or more next season, he is UFA eligible at age 26 instead of age 27. So he would be unrestricted free agent eligible in 2029 instead of 2030. So that's why if he starts on the Rangers, I expect him to be going back to the OHL after the Rangers' 39th game.
All right. Well, that's.
But I do expect him to start in New York. They're very high on him. It's Drury's first ever draft pick. The guy is lighting up the OHL. 50 goals in the regular season. He has 9 goals. Sorry, he has 7 goals in his 9 games in the playoffs right now. The guy is a goal scoring machine. He's carrying his team on his back. They started round 2 against the Sioux Greyhounds. Games 1 and 2, he combines for 7 points in 2 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. It's hard to see him not start in New York next season.
I just got to say this. Guys, again, everything is all right with Philk. It's just his schedule. That's all it is. Philk and Anthony and I were working towards building this entire thing. I love the guy. So don't worry, everything's fine.
Yeah, there's no John Filkowski Memorial Show coming up.
No. And no, there's no memoriam. So there we go. But I just got to go with TP's comment right here for a second. It's just if Quinn ends up being the coach of the Islanders, oh my God.
Imagine being down a goal against the Islanders with Quinn behind their bench. You know you're going to come back in the final few minutes. You just know it.
Because they just always do. Let me throw this, go back to you on this. We mentioned fatigue in this series before. What about fatigue in this season for Igor Shesterkin? This is the most games he's ever played in his career.
Yeah.
Could that be a factor?
That goes for a lot of guys. You know, Miller, Schneider, Lafreniere, Kakko, Lindgren, Fox. They never played this many games in a single season.
That's right. You know, and I'm focused on the goaltender because I just always do. But I mean, it looked like Igor had that moment in March where he was going and then burst through it in April. So
no.
Yeah,
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Tonight will be very indicative of what we can expect from him moving forward.
By the way, I love Chris G's comment right here. If Trotz didn't trust Wallstrom, Quinn sure as hell won't.
If you try to bury Trotz because he didn't play the kids enough, then hiring David Quinn is oh my God. By the way, Pierre Maguire was fired by the Senators, so maybe he's an option for them.
Oh God. He lasted 1 year with the Senators. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Phil Maguire. If he is the wait, that's his name, right? I'm blanking now.
Wait, Stephen, hold on 1 second.
Pierre Maguire. Jeez, I just did a mark. Oh my God. Oh my God. People are gonna call me out on this.
By the way, I just got a no-hitter alert in the Bronx. So that's through 6. Which was the name you're trying to figure out?
I said Phil Maguire instead of Pierre Maguire. Oh my God.
Oh, he's got a Justin now. Oh, that's what happens. Okay, you got to understand, everybody. We have so much stuff in our heads that just happens. Like, I mean, Sheldon Keefe became Sheldon O'Keefe because I worked with Connor O'Keefe for years. But I mean, just the whole Justin Huberdeau happened because I slipped going Justin Trudeau, Justin Huberdeau. So, no, not Phil Huberdeau. It wasn't that bad.
No. Oh, geez. Anyway, Pierre Maguire was fired by the Senators, so maybe they can hire him.
I remember when he was coaching the Whalers.
Oh, yeah. He was Was he their last coach before they relocated?
No, that was Paul Maurice.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul Maurice was definitely there. By the way, if it was Phil correcting me alone, we'd have a lot of corrections. So we'd have a full show on it. I still have to do another show of our outtakes. We used to have a lot of them.
But yeah, tonight, look, I just want the Rangers to come out flying like they did in Game 2. The Rangers need to make a statement. And look, if Lindgren's not ready to go, then I would play Hayek over Nemeth. I know he's not going to play Zach Jones because, Jones is small and this and that and blah. I don't care. At least
I got to tell you, I think I just heard every single Ranger fan scream in the tri-state area that we actually had somebody say, play Hayek.
I would rather play 5 defensemen than have Nemeth in the lineup.
Oh, wow. And you know what? The worst part, I'm going to say it. I'll say it. I agree with him.
I miss the days of Steve Eminger. The rest of our defense sucked, but Eminger is one of the best 6 defensemen we've had. For a number 6 defenseman, it doesn't get better than Steve Eminger.
Yeah. Because he was able to play those small minutes and let the other guys just when Torts just wanted to shorten the bench, and then he would still be able to go out. Like it wasn't like again, the one I always bring up is AV completely killing Stahl, Girardi. Who else was McDonough and Girardi, Stahl and
Holden pairing.
The Stahl Holden pairing in that game, and you know where I'm going with this: the Brady Shea game, Brady Shea 2-goal game, and then it's we could call it 2 things: Brady Shea 2-goal game and the goddamn JG Pajot 4-goal game. Still kills me.
JG Pajot. We could so easily segue into how the Islanders are fucked cap-wise for the next 5 years, but I won't.
Oh yeah. I still got to do a year-end show with Anthony. It's driving me crazy just even thinking about that.
Yeah. No, but look, the Rangers need to come out flying. The Rangers need 6 good defensemen, and Nemeth is not a good defenseman. And if he was just a bad defenseman, I could live with it. But he's literally pushing players into our goalie, as if Shorkin doesn't have enough shit to deal with without that.
And the thought about it, they can't move him. They'll move him. They'll find a way to move him.
If you can move 5.7 million Marc Stahl, you can move 2.5 million Nemeth.
Yes, and also if you can move Andrew Ladd, who didn't play a single game, then you can move Marks. Then you can move Patrick Nemeth.
The Leafs were able to move David Clarkson, who wasn't even in the building.
Yeah. Well, that's also moving long-term IR. I believe was that deal. Yeah. Was that David Clarkson for Nathan Horton? Was that deal?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Those are 2 guys that weren't even in the building.
Yeah. Now Nemeth doesn't bring anything.
But he's Swedish. That's mentoring for Nils Lundqvist.
You know who Kakko's mentor was?
Rutu, right?
Nope.
Oh, nobody.
Kakko actually brought this up in an interview last year that he's sad that this guy left because they got along really well. And this guy really helped him adjust to life in North America. Brendan Smith.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to speak the same language or be from the same country to mentor someone. I know it's shocking, like eye-opening, like wow.
I know, like who'd have thought? I mean, after all, Chris Kreider speaks Russian.
If you were going to sign a Swedish defenseman to mentor Nils Lundqvist, they should have brought back Freddie Claesson.
Yeah. And again, it's just you get somebody that wants a smaller role to do the mentoring, not somebody that wants a bigger role to do mentoring. So, but that's where we just got on that. All right, we're at 34 minutes. Let's do another. Are you good for another 10 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, because I still have to go to the gym today and send out emails and so many other things. I just want to thank the New York Islanders for ruining my afternoon. You did a great job. Gut reaction, by the way. Where does Barry Trotz go? If you're a GM, who are you firing right now? If you have to fire anybody,
I think he's going to go to Detroit.
Right.
Argument's going to be all over this.
And then you gift wrap them to the Detroit Red Wings. Here's another question, because this was on my feed yesterday, and I addressed this. Andrew Kopp, is it basically the New York Rangers or the Detroit Red Wings?
For Kopp?
And could the Rangers even let him walk?
They're not going to let Kopp walk. Kopp's the reason they're moving on from Strome.
That's what I've been saying too.
Look, I did the math. We have 11.7 million in cap space. If we replace Nemeth, you save another 1.5, so that's 13.2 million in cap space. 5 million is going to go to Andrew Kopp. 8.2 left. 3 million is going to go to Kako. 5.2 left. And then you still have to fill 4 spots. That's already without Georgiev, without Strome on the books, because people are like, oh, but what about Strome's money? It doesn't matter. It's already off the books.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Georgiev, but you already calculated that.
Yeah, because I go by the cap space we have next year, and those guys aren't on the contract, so they don't count against the cap for my calculation anyway.
By the way, is there still the penalty on the cap?
3.4 million for 1 more year.
No, God damn it.
Dan Girardi is fucking this team over until 2023.
Just why couldn't they have found a way to trade him? And again, I ask this question all the time about that. You had that contract to give out to one of 3 players, not 2 of 3. And that was Ryan Callahan, Dan Girardi, and Marc Stahl. Marc Stahl's injury list was way too long to give that contract out. Yeah. And Ryan Callahan kept on getting injured, and eventually they moved on, and I'm already saying leave for him. Then you can give it to Dan Girardi. You couldn't give it to Marc Stahl as well.
Do you want to hear the dumbest part about our cap penalties?
Oh no.
They bought out Dan Girardi and then replaced him with Kevin Shattenkirk. Then they bought out Kevin Shattenkirk and replaced him with Tony DeAngelo. And then they bought out DeAngelo, and those 3 make up the 3.4 million in cap penalties next season.
Oh God. Oh my God. Stop buying out contracts. Stop buying out contracts.
I cannot believe the 3 players they bought out that count against the cap next season are the 3 players that all played the same position.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
3.4 million people next season. That's the reason you're not gonna be able to afford a guy like Frank Vatrano.
Yeah.
If you keep Andrew Kopp, because don't forget Sammy Blais, 1.65 million qualifying offer. Kako is gonna get between 2.5 and 3 million. There's no way he's getting less than Hedl on a second deal. No way.
Well, what's Hedl getting right now?
2.5, 2.3, I think.
Yeah, because that's always a question about whether or not they can move on from Hedl. That's another guy.
Yeah. And look, the way he's been playing the last 2 months, they're not moving on from Hedl.
Okay.
So that's 3 million plus 5 million is 8 million plus 1.6, 9.6 million for 3 players. That leaves you with roughly 4 million for 3 more positions. You're not going to be able to keep Vatrano. You may be able to squeeze in Tyler Mott. Maybe. But Frank Vatrano is a rental. He's not staying. I know fans love him because he scores goals, but Vatrano is not the guy you want to invest 4 million in. If we want to laugh about the Islanders giving our bad contracts, we should not be giving 4 to 5 million a year to Frank Vatrano.
I agree with that. About you can't go to 4 million with him. No. You can get him a 1-year prove it deal.
If he wants to sign a 2-year deal for 2 million a year, then sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'd run to go sign that.
Yeah. players usually don't take pay cuts. Kevin LeBanc is the exception.
Yeah. And again, some guys, when they want to bet on themselves, it works. And what he'll do is he'll bet on himself for 1 year, and then you're paying the next year. You're paying him. Never mind. You wish you had 4. Now it's 5. Yeah, let me go with what Matador is saying right this. Yeah, by the way, imagine if the Richards contract counted against the cap. Am I one of the only people that I don't think the Brad Richards contract is that bad? Because, by the way, they did buy him out. They had the compliance buyout, and they knew this. But, the guy as a New York Ranger was a pretty good New York Ranger.
Yeah, but he signed a nine-year deal at age 32.
Yeah, that's where they signed. There were those contracts they signed, and they went, we have no intention of you finishing this contract.
Yeah. Look, I always talk about this scenario that I have in my head on July 1st every year, where Bobby Bonilla, Brad Richards, and Rick DiPietro meet up in New York City at some rooftop bar, cracking open the most expensive bottle of champagne to celebrate that they got another $1 million payout.
And I broke this down I think when you were on with us for the free agent show, but that the Met fans always want to crack against the Bobby Bonilla thing. But the Bobby Bonilla buyout enabled at the time the New York Mets to save some money. And when they were saving that money, they decided to invest in Mike Hampton. Mike Hampton went on to be the NLCS MVP and lead them to the World Series. He didn't hit a Yankee in Game 2. Maybe you should actually do it when you're talking tough. And then that was the Mike Piazza broken bat Roger Clemens game. Then when he left for Colorado, he became a compensatory pick. The compensatory pick became David Wright. So that's one of those moments where you go, that one works out. Brad Richards helped put the Rangers into a Stanley Cup final. That one works out. Who's the other guy?
No,
Rick DiPietro. Rick DiPietro is one that did not work out.
Yeah. I mean, Brad Richards was a corpse by the time we got to the Stanley Cup final in 2014.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, he ended up winning a cup with Chicago, though, the next season.
I think I could have won a cup with Chicago.
That's also true. But look, the Richards buyout gave us the cap flexibility to sign Girardi and Stahl to extensions. So, yay.
And by the way, I also think the way that I've put it is they rich personed that money, where they basically, I know it was with the Ponzi scheme and stuff like that, but they could throw money away and then let the interest develop on it.
Yeah. By the way, you talk about all these names in baseball. I don't know anything about baseball. just want to put that out there. I do like baseball movies based on real life events, though.
Yes, but Moneyball is got some flaws.
I'm not talking about Moneyball.
I know. That's the first one I go to when I think about a movie that's got flaws.
My top 3 baseball movies are 8 Men Out.
Great movie.
61.
Great movie. I recommended that to somebody last night.
And 42.
42 is a good one. Chadwick Boseman is such a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Crime that we got robbed of him. Matador did want to say this. Would you trade Capo Caco before the next injury comes?
No, because I don't agree that he's injury prone, because none of his injuries are related.
Okay.
If we're talking about injury prone, show me that the guy had recurring injuries. If you want to talk injury prone, Pavel Buchnevich had back spasms several times in his rookie season. He had 2 concussions. Pavel Buchnevich is more injury prone than Capo Caco. Capo Caco had a shoulder injury. He was out with COVID last season. He was out with the flu once. And what was the other injury he had?
It nothing had to do with his diabetes. I know that.
No. But none of his injuries are related. He never re-aggravated an old injury. He never got injured in the same area twice. I don't think Caco is injury prone. Some players just have a couple of injuries. Should we have traded Zibanejad in 2017 when he broke his leg going into the board?
And possible concussions?
And possible concussions? No. And look at him now, with almost a 90-point player for the Rangers.
Let me throw out two more names of you. I'm going to throw out I'm going to throw out whatever. I just already said the Penguin. Sidney Crosby, because they thought he was concussions, and then they found out it wasn't. And the other one's Brian Leetch. Brian Leetch, he had that injury-prone label, and then shrugged it away in '94, and didn't really have injuries again the rest of his career until he broke his arm.
Shesterkin having 2 separate groin injuries is more of a concern to me than Kakko's injury.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. And the fact that they were short-term, God bless. But still, I agree with that one.
No, I'm not worried about Kakko's injuries.
But yes, the team didn't miss him. Your follow comment, yes. Every time Kakko was out, the team didn't miss him. Yeah, but also he's finding his way. I'm telling you, you give up on Kakko, he's going to be a great player, especially if he was there.
Do people remember Marc Savard?
There's another one. That's a guy that I always looked at, and I thought that guy was going to be great.
Rick Middleton.
Who?
Rick Middleton.
Rick Middleton. Oh,
you trade Rick Middleton away, and he has his number retired by the Bruins. That's how good he was.
Yep. That's a future video for us. I know I have to cut that together.
Zubov.
Trades that people that should have never been traded. Number one to me, even over Rick Middleton, is Sergei Zubov. Yeah. Sergei Zubov, the leading scorer of the '94 Rangers, and 4th in the Norris voting that year. That guy, and he was one of those late draft picks that Neil Smith had. So,
if you trade away a player that gets his number retired by another team, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree with that 100%.
If he's good enough to get his number retired by the other team, you fucked up. I don't care what you got back. Unless you got Lemieux or Jágr back in the process, you messed up.
Right. And the rare cases of Messier, who was retired by both teams, or Gretzky retired by both teams. But, yeah, that doesn't happen all the time.
Messier got the Oilers 5 cups.
5 cups.
Yeah,
he won the MVP in '90 and the Stanley Cup.
I'm pretty sure the Oilers are okay with that. He won you 5 cups. It's okay. At some point, you move on. I'm talking about the Rangers trading away players before they hit their prime.
Yep.
And then go on to win cups elsewhere, get their number retired by other teams, and go into the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to highlight this one because there is a little bit of debate on this. Manny Malhotra, not everyone pans out. Manny Malhotra, I don't think panned out to what the Rangers thought he could be. He did pan out to be a very good 4th-line center, but I agree somewhat with him on this. And Manny Malhotra is one of my favorite hockey names.
Of course, Manny Malhotra is a perfect example that not every player works out, but
they can still find a role and develop.
I don't think we're at that point yet where you move on from Kakko. The guy's 21.
You move on from Kravtsov.
Kravtsov, yeah. I mean, if you can get a similar prospect for Kravtsov, like a 1-for-1 swap, I jump on that right now. Look, go ask Winnipeg Jets fans how they feel about trading away Patrick Laine for Pierre-Luc Dubois, who now wants out. And
also, I'd always take the center over the winger anyway. Because the center's got a little bit more effect.
And Peter Chiarelli is an RGM. Peter Chiarelli is the king of trading away top 3 picks that he drafted himself. He traded away both Tyler Seguin and Taylor Hall.
And at that time, if I recall correctly, didn't he trade? He also traded away Phil Kessel to get that pick that ended up becoming Tyler Seguin. And so throw him in there. Those are 3 damn good players.
The only thing he hasn't done yet is trade away Eric Goodbranson, who was the 3rd overall pick in the 2010 draft.
Yeah, but he'll find a way to do that.
But no, I mean, if you can sign Kakko to a relatively cheap bridge deal, you do it, and wait it out for 2 more years.
And thanks, because that's what we're always here for. We're always here to discuss, no matter how much I might disagree with you.
And you know what? I'm going to say something weird. I rather have people disagree with me because it breeds conversation than
Yeah.
have everyone just say, "Oh yeah, oh, you're right." I
Oh,
want.
yeah. Well,
I love talking.
and just bring something to the table for the conversation. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
I
no.
have
I mean, don't tell me, "Oh, you're wrong. You're an idiot." No, no. Tell me. Give me your opinion on why you disagree with me, and we can have a conversation. I love that.
yeah, and those are the best conversations, because then it's like maybe sometimes I get something where I'm wrong. I get
Mhm.
Penguins fans that were yelling at me last week for the video where the Rangers robbed, and the answer on that is, first off, yes, but the other part of it is then they're going, oh, well, you're just a crybaby. Okay, then why am I a crybaby? Here's a video breaking everything down. I could point out, and first somebody was saying to me the Brian Lindgren hit on Ricard Raquel. Oh, it was dirty.
Mm.
No, it wasn't. Clean hit.
Yeah.
He ended up leaving his feet and the force of the hit. That was
Skates,
just what it
at the
was.
point of impact, the skates were still touching the ice, and the point of impact was the chest.
Yeah.
It's a clean
And
hit.
Ricard
But
Raquel
look,
had his head down. I had
look,
another one where again, and then the argument back was, well, we lost our goalie tandem. We were robbed of that. The Rangers, the Islanders, sorry, not the whoever, the freaking Penguins. The Penguins could
Justin
have.
Penguins.
Yeah, this is what happens when I get worked up. But the Penguins would have driven Marc-Andre Fleury to the airport, and Fleury wanted out too.
Yeah.
Matt
Look,
Cook, there's another example.
someone commented on one of my tweets, a Penguins fan, saying, "Oh my God, Ranger fans are so clueless. They've only started watching hockey after they drafted Lafreniere first overall." And I'm like, dude, a Penguins fan should not be saying that.
Yeah, and first off, it's been 20 minutes. Did your team declare bankruptcy again? So it's and again, they won the lottery, I think, almost as much as Edmonton, I think, in the last 10 years. Shut up.
The Penguins picked top five seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Can you name all 5 of those top 5 picks they had?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with no, actually, at the moment, because obviously I could go with the 3 big ones:
Yeah.
Fleury, Crosby, and Malkin.
Malkin,
At
yeah.
2.
So
However,
2002 it was 5th overall.
5th overall. I'm blanking. I don't think it was Letang, because I think he was late.
Ryan Whitney.
Oh, that's right. It was Ryan. See, that's where we're talking about guys that didn't work out. Ryan Whitney.
So 2003 first overall was Fleury. 2004
Yep.
second overall was Malkin.
Malkin. 2005
first
Crosby.
was
So 2006.
second overall.
See, these are the ones I was blanking on. It's a guy that I know. I know the name. You're gonna kill me when you tell me the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Lee Mata. He was later.
So first overall,
I don't think he was second overall. It wasn't Brent Sutter.
No, Eric Johnson.
Not Brent Sutter. I'm sorry,
overall.
Brandon Sutter. I meant to say.
Yeah, Eric Johnson first overall. Jonathan Taves third. Nicholas Backstrom fourth. Phil Kessel fifth. Derek Brassard sixth. Kyle Okposo seventh. And second overall, the Pittsburgh Penguins selected for the Peterborough Petes, Jordan Staal.
Wow. Actually, I didn't think Jordan Staal was that high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks, David. Yeah, I mean, that's so wow. Jordan Stahl's turning a great career.
But every team that has won the cup has had like a high draft pick that everyone forgot about.
Yeah.
The Chicago Blackhawks drafted Cam Barker, I think third overall. The LA Kings, Thomas Hickey, fourth overall.
There are people that don't remember Tyler Seguin on the Boston Bruins when they won the cup.
Yeah. He was a rookie. But
we're not counting Jack Johnson, right? Because I think he was third overall when he went. When he was. Oh wait, no, he was traded to Columbus before the cup run because that's how they got Jeff Carter. Damn it.
Yeah.
Again, this is how we do it live. It's
Jack Johnson lost out on cups the same way he lost out on his pension.
Oh, yeah,
he was traded to Columbus 3 months before they won the cup, before LA won the cup.
And Lauren, yeah, I just had the previous video on that, and Steven came on. We decided to talk some Rangers, but I can't believe it. I still can't believe they fired Barry Trotz.
By the way, the word trots in Dutch means proud. Take that for what you will.
Yeah, but how do you not give this guy another season?
Look, I said this on Twitter as well. An outrageous decision. They started the season with a road trip longer than the Wall of China.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came back to a new arena. COVID hit them massively for weeks. By the time they were playing their actual game, they were already 20 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah. And this is the way that I characterized it with people. They had the 13-game road trip, but you know what? They came home twice. So it wasn't like they were on the road for 6 weeks. Wow, my thing went off. I didn't even think it happened. I thought I had it on silent. So they had that. Then they lost the game against Minnesota with a third period lead. Only game that they lost with third period lead all season, by the way. That was one game that they lost. They went home. They got shellacked by the Devils. They had the Lightning game circled. They got the first goal against the Lightning, lost that game. And before they knew it, the very next night they had to play the Panthers. They were down 4-0 in the first period. Yeah. So then you're going, all right, well, don't worry about it. You lost 4 games in a row. At least we're opening up a new building. Bang, COVID hits. They lose 11 in a row, and that's it. That's their season.
Look, the Islanders are a playoff caliber team in every way except for where they are in the standings.
And that team and that roster could easily rebound, especially with everything. And a friend of mine just texted me. It sounds like Lou wants more young guys in the fold. Yeah, but Lou doesn't exactly.
No, why did you fill the team with 40-year-olds?
Yeah,
you add Chara. You already have Green. You signed Palmieri to an extension. Fucking ridiculous. You add Zach Parise. I mean, yeah. First you basically add like an old age home to your roster, and then you fire the coach because you want someone younger.
No.
General managers are the only people in the NHL that can make mistakes and fire someone else for it. It's ridiculous. This
is how Lou Lamoriello goes from the best American GM all time to being persona non grata in all his franchises.
Oh, and can we also talk about the ridiculous rules he has about you're not allowed to have long hair, you're not allowed to have facial hair, and you're not allowed to have a jersey number higher than 36.
And to be honest with you, I'm okay with those. The reason why is if you want to run a disciplined organization like the New York Yankees, they don't let you have to be clean shaven every single day. I wouldn't be allowed with the New York Yankees right now.
Okay, the jersey numbers then.
I think it's to avoid stuff like what Josh Hosang had going. You chose 66.
He had this rule in New Jersey.
I do know that too.
Jaromir Jagr had to ask if he could keep number 68 when he signed with the New Jersey Devils.
I was surprised that was even going to be an issue for him. Jaromir Jagr is a no-brainer. The only guy that he allowed a jersey higher than that with was Alexander Mogilny, and he let him keep 89. So, but You know what? John D. Lee's got it right here. It's like Lou is now Harry Sinden.
Is that another baseball reference?
Oh, what?
Who's Harry Sinden?
Harry Sinden, the former GM of the Bruins.
Oh man, yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. He's the guy that not many guys can ever say they traded both Phil Esposito and Ray Bourque. So. Man. But again, see, the Hosang thing was dumb because you chose 66. The thing about it was it was a needless distraction. And Josh Hosang, well, first off, I can go for a while about Josh Hosang and what I think about him. But
The problem with Josh Hosang was not the number 66. It was his attitude overall. Josh Hosang did not create problems by wearing number 66. Islander fans made number 66 a problem because they're like, oh, it's Lemieux's number. No, it's not. It's Lemieux's number in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You don't want anyone to wear number 66. You retire the number. It's a bit weird to retire a number for someone who never played for you. But
yes.
Mike Hoffman wears number 68, and nobody gives him shit.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking about which, the Miami Heat in the NBA retired 23 from Michael Jordan. Speaking about things that are weird.
Okay. Oh, so that's why LeBron James switched to number 6.
Yeah, that was also LeBron James said, "Oh, they should retire 23 around the league." No, they shouldn't. 23 is.
I really like that LeBron James picked a number to represent the number of NBA finals he's going to lose in his career.
I like that.
No,
I like that.
Jersey numbers are look. If a jersey number is not retired, it's fair game. Or you should do what the Toronto Maple Leafs do, and Toronto Maple Leafs don't retire numbers; they honor them.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rangers never retired number 99, but it was retired league-wide. If it's such a big deal for number 66, then file a petition as an Islanders fan with the NHL to have the number retired league-wide. I think it's weird that teams like the Minnesota Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets and the current Winnipeg Jets cannot use number 99 for a player that never played against them. But you're going to retire.
I mean, 99. There are those numbers that should be retired league wide. 99's one. Hell, the Jets had somebody wear 99 during their time.
But if you're going to make this much of an issue about number 66 with Josh Hosang, are you gonna complain about the same stuff when McDavid retires about number 97?
That's a great question.
Number 87 with Crosby? Well, where does it end?
Yeah.
Number 88 for Kane?
Yeah, but 88 also was Lindros. So that's why I think when you have multiple numbers, I think that softens the blow a little bit. But I agree with you on that. Where does it end?
Interesting point about the number 88. When the Ottawa Senators signed Tim Stützle, he's from Germany, they gave him a jersey with number 88 because he wore number 8 in Germany and 8 was already taken on the Ottawa Senators. Stützle refused to wear it because in Germany, number 88 is not allowed in sports because 8 is the 8th letter of the alphabet is the H, so 88 is a reference to.
All right.
I'm not gonna say it, but
yeah.
So that's why they switched him to number 18.
Let me bring this comment up because I know Nathan put this in here. I love how all fan bases thinks every other fan base is the worst. What's a fan base you could commend right now? The other way around. Which one do you think is a great fan base?
A great fan base in the NHL specifically? Yeah. A great fan base in the NHL. I'm going to have to go with a fan base where I've actually been to for a game. I got to say Calgary Flames.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get down. I got to get up there to go see games.
They're going to leave the Saddledome in 2024. You have to hurry up.
All right.
I'd say Nashville Predators fan base is pretty cool. Pretty fun.
Love the Predators fan base. I've been there already for a game. And yeah, they're great.
And one that people might not agree with per se, Vegas Golden Knights fan base, because the Vegas Golden Knights fan base is basically filled with hockey fans who were hockey fans long before the Golden Knights existed. You're talking about people from all over the country that relocated to Vegas for work, with their family, whatever. I went to the first Rangers game in Vegas in January 2018, and I spoke to a lot of people there and who used to be Ranger fans, moved from New York to Vegas, and now they have their own local team to support. So they take their kids to the Vegas Golden Knights game, and the kids grow up with the team. I know the Vegas Golden Knights are often labeled as dumb fans or fans that aren't knowledgeable. Listen, there are dumb fans at Madison Square Garden too. There are fans at Madison Square Garden that don't know the rules either. The Ranger fan base is a fun fan base, but let's not pretend like we're anything special. We're just a fan base. Like,
New York fans are the reason why the word fanatic exists. Because sometimes we could just be so crazy. And then there's sometimes we just know everything. Like we think we know everything and then we don't.
I have never been to a game in North America, any sport, football, baseball, basketball, hockey. I've never been to a game in North America that can match the intensity of a game in Europe. A hockey game in the Czech Republic, a football game, a soccer game in England, a rugby game in Ireland. Hockey games in the Czech Republic are wild. There's fireworks indoors. There's massive banners that cover an entire section during warm-ups. The biggest difference between Europe and North America in terms of fans, if I have to describe it in one sentence, is in North America, fans go to the game to be entertained. In Europe, fans go to the game to support their team. If your team goes down a goal in North America, the fans usually go quiet. If they go down a goal in Europe, the fans get even louder.
This is why I'm trying to make a list about all the things that I have to do to travel to go see these games, like the Calgary Teddy Bear Toss, the Frozen Four, I
would love to go to a home playoff game in Winnipeg to see the whiteout in person.
Yes, that would be great. So I mean, there's all those things.
Yeah.
So we actually said we're going to do 10 minutes more. We're actually 20 minutes over that.
It's okay. I have no plans until the game starts in 3.5 hours. So.
Well, I actually do have to get going. But on the other hand, we are going to leave with 2 more questions first that I'm going to ask for Steven. Other than Mika Zibanejad getting New York Ranger that needs to score tonight.
I don't know. We've had goals from Vetrano, Kopp, Panarin, Kreider, Strome even. Lafreniere.
Yeah, I think it's Lafreniere, especially after I do the other than Zibanejad line.
Yeah.
I gotta agree 100% on that. And maybe Trouba pots one, and that starts.
I would love for Miller to get one.
Yeah.
Miller's been our best defenseman so far this series.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks fresh. He has made such a tremendous jump from the almost like St. Patrick's Day to the week after the trade deadline. He looks like a completely different player.
One thing I want to say about K'Andre Miller, just because he's playing great now doesn't mean he wasn't playing great earlier in the season. I see a lot of people on social media go, "Oh, you said he was bad." Yeah, like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
He improved. It's the same thing with the Rangers. Just because they're good at 5-on-5 now doesn't mean they weren't terrible at it the first 4 months of the season. You know, you address a weakness. That doesn't mean that the weakness never existed.
And also just players, sometimes they just get it.
Players develop. Players take, in with kids, you have growth spurts. Same with athletes. Sometimes they have like this barrier to overcome. Once they get past that barrier, you see them excel at everything again. I think Adam Fox had that until like the All-Star game, where he had that minor injury that really messed him up, and now it's slowly coming back again.
Yeah, and I think also that Ryan Lindgren's been dealing with a nagging injury for a while too, and I think that's why his play has dropped off as well.
I think it's more the fact that, like I said before, Lindgren and Fox have never played this many games. They played their first game in the NHL in 2019-2020. That season only lasted 70 games. Then they had like an early off season. They played 4 games in the bubble. You had that weird practice game against the Islanders. You play 4 games in the bubble. That's it.
Yeah, it was weird too. Yeah.
Then you get the 2020-2021 season, which is only 56 games. This was their first 82-game season, followed only a week later with an intense first-round matchup in the playoffs. This is uncharted territory for Fox and Lindgren.
And do you think the Rangers are going to try to lock it down today, or do you think they're going to open it up?
Um, I think they're going to play a high energy game. I think they just need to have a similar result as the Penguins in Game 3. The Rangers in Game 1 and the Penguins in Game 3 had very similar first periods.
Mm-hmm.
They were both dominating their opponent. They were creating scoring chances. They were absolutely toying with the other team. The only difference is the Penguins scored 4, the Rangers scored 1. In Game 1, the Rangers went into first intermission up 1-0. If the Rangers go into the first intermission up 3-0, 4-0, the Penguins have nothing to complain about. The Penguins, on the other hand, in Game 3, go up after the first period 4-1. They were able to capitalize on those chances better than the Rangers were in Game 1. But those first periods for the Rangers in Game 1 and the Penguins in Game 3 were very similar in the way they played, the way they approached the game, the way they overpowered, outclassed their opponent. That's the type of start I want to see from the Rangers, without the collapse in the second period like we had in Game 1.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the theme of the 22 playoffs. I know CP just mentioned it, but I think it's going to be another series that goes even.
There's going to be, except for Calgary, Dallas. I think they play Game 4 tonight as well.
Yeah, Game 4 tonight. I don't think that's going to be even. I think Calgary's going to pull it out. Game 4 tonight for them. Game 4 tonight for Colorado versus Nashville. And
Colorado's going to sweep.
Yeah. Well, once you found out UC Soros wasn't playing, it was over. Yeah. That you never predict a sweep. I predicted 3 series to end in 5. None of them are ending in 5. But you never predict a sweep. I predicted a sweep in that one. I just said there's no chance. They have no chance. Yeah.
Look, the Rangers just need to come out flying, high energy, stay on the puck, forecheck. I know I'm throwing out all the cliches you hear from players in locker room interviews, but
they're true too.
It's true. Tonight they need to do all those things. They need to have the upper hand. They need to do exactly what Frank Vetrano said after the second period in Game 2. We need to keep them on their heels. You need to push them against the wall. You need to control the game. And the Rangers, except for the first 2-3 minutes of that third period in Game 2, did that. Yeah. You know, after they weathered the Penguins storm for the first couple of minutes, they took control of the game, and eventually they won 5-2.
James is worried. What if Igor gives up 2 goals? But you have that number on the save percentage for him after Igor gives up 4 goals.
If Igor Shesterkin gives up 2 goals and we don't win, we have everyone to blame except our goalie. If you cannot score 3 goals against a third-string goalie in the playoffs, you cannot blame your own goalie. If Igor Shesterkin gives up 2, I'm happy. But
what's the word on Lindgren, by the way? Game time decision again?
Game time decision. Gallant said that he wouldn't rule out going with 7 defensemen.
Okay.
The question is, who comes out? Is it Reeves or is it Hunt?
I almost think I think you go with Hunt. I think you need Reeves in there tonight.
There's no way you sit Reeves, right?
No, I wouldn't sit Reeves tonight. He's badly going to be needed.
The problem with Reeves is the moment he stops playing that intense game, he's basically a cone. He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So he needs to have the energy to go the full 60.
And that's why he's kind of bounced around a little bit. I mean, the guy is great.
And if we are down a goal with a couple of minutes to go, can we please not put the 4th line out?
Yeah. And I got to put that one. By the way, and you know what? And also, what were your thoughts on the goal Georgiev did let in?
It was a bad goal to give up, but
I don't think he was square. I don't think he did that. Georgiev, he just didn't look right. He opened up so much. And that's where.
So Nemeth gets out-muscled on the boards.
Yes.
Zibanejad isn't back in time. And then Georgiev gives up a bad goal. I mean, there are 3 players to blame for that one. But again, I said this before, you have 3 full power plays in the third period before the goal was scored, and you don't pot one.
And like I said, that matchup favors Pittsburgh.
That's what I blame the loss on, because if you don't score on 3 consecutive power plays, that's momentum for them. If you kill 3 consecutive penalties, that gives you a boost. And that was after the Penguins gave up a 4-1 lead. The Rangers were the better team. They had them I don't want to use a boxing reference because I don't like the sport at all. They had them up against the ropes.
Yeah.
And they let them get away with it.
Fucking. Sorry, hold on. I got bots. I guess that's how you know you're feeling successful.
Oh, when the bots show up? Yeah.
When the bots show up.
I had a bot account send me a DM on Twitter saying, "You look really good in a suit." I'm in my profile picture is me and Capo Caco. I'm not the one in a suit. But I'll pass it on to Caco.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another reason why I miss having Philk around, because then I end up doing all the banners. He ends up doing all the comments. No, there's 9,000 reasons why I wish Philk was around, but like I said, we're getting our schedules and our ducks in a row. We'll eventually get that all figured out. But you know what? Sorry to say, Steven. By the way, thanks for joining me today. I mean, who'd have thought we'd be doing another 75 minutes after the Barry Trotz thing.
Before you go, I want to quickly show you what jersey I'm going with tonight.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, please.
I asked people on Twitter to help me out. And I'm going to be wearing this one.
Nice.
The Shesterkin KHL All-Star jersey from 2017.
You know, there's a video I got to make during the summer. It was an article I had. It's a little bit comedic, but it was never published. But what does your jersey collection say about you? So, because there's like little things. Unfortunately, everybody, this is the jersey I'm going to be wearing. It's just my Boss Croker shirt, because that is where I'm going to be all night tonight, and hopefully not freaking out. Dart players, don't worry, you're going to get your beers. And if I end up missing a goal, or sorry, hopefully you guys don't end up missing shots, because we're going to be screaming about the darts. Actually, you know something, Steven?
I hope there's going to be more shots in the game than at your bar.
I am making sure I'm going to stay good. Easy, got to ask you this. What are your thoughts on Corsac?
Look, I like the kid. I spoke to him a couple of times. I did an interview with him at the start of the season when we just drafted him. He's a bright kid. You know, he knows what's expected from him. His older brother, Caden Corsac, was drafted by the Vegas Golden Knights, so there's already, you know, that familiarity with being part of a pro hockey organization. This kid for the Moose Jaw Warriors, there is this risk that he might be benefiting from playing with superior players like Carl Henriksson with Lucas Raymond and Alexander Holtz. Ryder Corsac is playing with potential first-round picks, Jagger Firkus, and who's the other guy? Man, how am I blanking on this guy? I watch every game of that team. I don't know. I'm blanking on the other guy's name, but he's playing with 2 really good wingers. That's a really good one by Seaports, actually.
Yeah.
My jersey collection says that about me. I buy into players way too quick. But I love investing, you know, my time into getting to know these prospects like Brandon Othman, Will Cooley, Brody Lamb, Adam Edstrom. But Ryder Corsac is a center who he compares himself to Braden Point. I'm not going to say he's going to be as good as Braden Point, because it's probably no one's going to be in our organization.
No, that's a tall order to put on a kid anyway.
But I think the comparison there is also because Braden Point played for the Moose Jaw Warriors, so there's familiarity there. But also he really admires Braden Point for fighting his way to the NHL as a 3rd-round pick, and who's also a 3rd-round pick, Ryder Corsac, who also plays for the Moose Jaw Warriors, who's also a center. So, but stylistically, I see a lot of Derek Stepan in this kid. He's a premium passer. He's a really good playmaker, and he makes passes that you don't see watching the game. It's like he has eyes in the back of his head. And Derek Brassard had the same thing. Derek Brassard could make passes on a dime, like no look passes, cross the crease, onto the tape, like tape to tape, to a guy like Zuccarello. It was unbelievable. And Corsac is doing that too. Corsac distributes the play well, but he's going to start in Hartford. Don't expect him to make the team straight away next season. 3rd round pick. He's going to be a little bit of a project. But in 2-3 years, I could see him make a push for a team, for a spot on the NHL team. Yes.
Is there is he as good defensively possibly as Derek Stepan?
That's tough to say. I mean, the offense and defense in juniors is hard to judge, because every shift you have to take into account who they play against. They could play against a 16-year-old one shift and then play against a fellow 19-year-old the next. If they are really good in the shifts against the 16-year-olds, then that could maybe skew the numbers a little bit. Now, I don't have numbers that go that much into detail, but look, he's not like Brennan Othman, who has really wowed everyone and exceeded expectations, scoring 50 goals in the OHL. But Ryder Corsac has met expectations. I think that would be a fair assessment.
All right. So we got to do our game 4 predictions then, since we're going to be here. What happens tonight? Let me get yours.
For the love of God, please no overtime. The game starts at midnight for me already, and it's Monday. I think the Rangers are going to win this. I think they're going to come back in the series. They're going to tie it up. They're going to be fired up. Shesterkin's not going to have 2 bad games in a row. I know this is a lot of wishful thinking, but let's speak it into existence. 4-1.
I'm going to say Pittsburgh scores first, and that's where you're going to get a 4-1 game tonight. Maybe it could be 5-2. I think there's definitely going to be an empty net goal, and I think the Rangers have no problems playing from behind. They've done it all season. So let's, there's
a coming from behind in there somewhere.
What?
There's a coming from behind joke in there somewhere.
Oh yes, there definitely is. If not, you can always just do the Archer joke for phrasing, or that's what she said from The Office. What's the new one? Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has Title of Your Sex Tape. So it's there's all those that I just love to use. But yeah, the kid line gets a goal tonight. What do you guys? I guess I got one more question then. Ugh, another bot.
Nathan, 2015 second round against the Capitals. Rangers are down 3-1. In game 5, they're down 2-1 with 20 seconds to go. And Kreider ties it up. We win in overtime. Goal by McDonough. And I remember the broadcast. I don't know who it was.
It was NBC.
Yeah, I don't know who it was who said this, but someone said the Rangers just planted a seed.
Yeah.
The Rangers
I think that was actually, oh, you know what? I think it was Dave Schrader.
Maybe. The Rangers
Dave Schrader.
They go back home. No, wait, that was game 5. Yeah. So all of a sudden it's 3-2. They go back into Washington for game 6. They crush it. Dan Boyle scored that game. Rick Nash scored that game. Kreider, I think, scored another one.
This is game 6?
Yeah.
Kreider had 2. Yeah, Boyle and Rick Nash scored.
Yeah. And then they come back to the Garden for game 7. And then the best play of Jesper Fast's NHL career is poking the puck back to the blue line after the face-off.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens next?
Tie up. Yandel to Girardi, a drive, save made, rebound, score.
Step on in overtime.
Yeah. The Rangers move on to Tampa. I love that one.
Yeah,
one That reminds me of one of my favorite early videos me and Phil did, just talking about Mike Emmerich. And
Look, I know there are people who don't like this guy, but listen, I love Doc Emmerich because he brings so much energy to the game. There's just so much to there's just so much to love about Emmerich and the energy he brings to the game, to the point where friends of mine who don't really watch hockey would ask me, is the enthusiastic guy doing the commentary tonight? And they always talk about Doc Emmerich. By the way, one thing for tonight: if Andrew Copp scores a goal, he will only become the 11th Ranger ever to have a 4-game goal streak to start the playoffs.
wow. The 11th Ranger ever?
Yep.
Huh.
The last one.
They had that on the broadcast the other night. Who were the last 2 Rangers to open a series with 3 consecutive goals in 3 consecutive games?
Sorry. Sorry. He will be he will be the 6th all time to do it in a single season.
There we go.
The last person. Oh, here we go again. Here we go. If Andrew Copp scores, this is going to come up on my Twitter feed because it's a 1994 reference. The last player to do this was Alex Kovalev in '94. The 5 players who have started the playoffs as a Ranger with a 4-game goal streak: Cecil Dillon in 1933, Pete Statboy in 1973, Ulf Nilsson and Ron Duguay in 1981.
Wow.
And Alex Kovalev in 1994.
And that's and obviously that's just starting a playoff. That's not starting the playoff careers.
No. That's in a postseason. 4-game goal streak to start the postseason. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. It's there's a lot of reasons to believe still, so don't worry about that. Remember, the St. Louis Blues looked dead in the water after Game 3, and they're now alive and well and going back home. I know they're going back to Minnesota with everything tied to too. Look at the LA Kings. LA Kings are going back. I mean, Toronto is going to be hosting Tampa Bay.
Did anyone expect Boston to come back from being down 2-0 against the Carolina Hurricanes? After the first game, be honest.
No. I did, and hold on, I got more bots coming in. I did not think that they could do that, but they did. Yeah, you got it.
It's all about experience in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's why I picked Boston in the upset originally, because it's experience, and it's also that they have to. When the things are tough, when it comes in net, that's where I worry about that. Antti Ranta's experience in the playoffs is watching Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, he really hasn't been that much in the playoffs. And
he was the third goalie in Chicago when they won the Cup in 2015, behind Corey Crawford and Scott Darling.
Yeah, but then he played slightly more than Nick Leddy, because Nick Leddy was averaging under 10 minutes a game at that time with them. So people forget about that. They always want to hand him a Stanley Cup ring.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Michael Del Zotto got a Stanley Cup ring with the St. Louis Blues. Does anybody remember that? So
my fiance does. Michael Del Zotto is her favorite player of all time.
Yeah, well, he's not Lisa Ann's favorite player.
Lisa Ann. Oh my God, that story is hilarious.
Why isn't this banning this person?
But yeah, do you guys still like their chances if they go 3-1? Chances are slim, but
it's still, all you got to do is still win one road game.
It's going to be another cliche, but 1 game at a time.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
You only have to win 1 on the road if you go down tonight.
And here's the answer: the Pittsburgh Penguins scored 4 goals against Igor Shesterkin in the regular season. So it's not like Igor Shesterkin is going to be going, "Oh no, these guys got my number." No, he could easily get it back. He had 1 shutout, 1 game where he let up 1 goal.
I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds that Louis Domingue is gonna be lights out for a full 7-game series?
And that's the other thing too. All the Rangers got to do is just get like the Panarin goal on him. I thought that
Light
was
him
going
up.
to be the one that broke his back. But
Light him up.
and then you know what? All it takes sometimes for a goal scorer, you just need one goal. You just need to be confident going into the building, going onto the bench. That's all you need to do. You're playing with confidence, you do everything so much better. And you don't have the confidence, it gets worse.
Yeah.
No, my last 2 seasons were all about that. All right. Yeah, Steven, so we're gonna have and now I really do have to cut it off right there. I got again, I gotta thank you for coming on with me because it's
Speaking
great
of
to have
gym, I saw a T-shirt that said, "Alexa, remind me of going to the gym." And then Alexa goes, "Add a gym to the shopping list." No. Why am I saying this when I have an Amazon uncle in the room?
I'm surprised it didn't trigger mine.
Anyway, and then the last sentence is, "Yeah, close enough." Adding gym to the shopping list, yeah, close enough.
Oh God! All right, we had 2 great laugh breakdowns.
I'm not
on this
naming
today.
any of my. I'm not giving that name to any of my kids.
No, it's a great name. It's my cousin's name, so yeah, but I am definitely not. I mean, hopefully I still find a woman that'll let me name our daughter Madison and our son Shay. So
What? No, Justin?
no, don't no, maybe for another one. Shay for a boy, Madison for a girl. Those were always my
Shane
2
for a boy.
names. Shea
Are you,
Stadium
are
was
you
where the
gonna
Mets
spell it?
used to play.
Are you gonna spell it? Are you gonna spell it SKJEI?
Oh no. SHEA. Because Shea Stadium was where the Mets used to play for years. So
Oh, okay. The
yeah.
old Met
Chipper
Stadium.
Jones liked hitting at Shea so much he named his son Shea.
Oh, by the way, are you a Mets fan?
Yes.
Have you ever watched the movie? This is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll cut it off. Have you ever watched the movie Frequency?
Yes.
That movie is the only reason I know who Cleon Jones even is.
When he mentions that he gets his shoe polish on there, that's one of the greatest moments. There are. Let me. God, you guys just love to pull me back in. I had 3 sign-offs yesterday when I was doing it alone. The first off, when he's talking about the shoe polish, in that Cleon Jones' assistant, he got hit. Who the hell puts shoe polish on their cleats? It's still something that still gets to me. But Gil Hodges goes out, takes the ball, and hands it to the ump, and there's shoe polish on there. That still bewilders me. The other thing about Cleon Jones in that season was Gil Hodges walked all the way out to left field to pull him from the game because he felt he didn't hustle on a play. That imagine having the chutzpah to do that in the modern age. Like that's amazing. Justin.
Yeah, look, the only thing I know about the Mets is that they won the World Series in '69 because of that movie.
You know something else from a movie? Then I could take it. Yeah, you've seen Men in Black, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like long ago, I never really watched.
Yeah, and out Bernard Gilkey for the Mets had a ball hit himself off the head because the World's Fair where it used to be was right next to Shea Stadium. So the flying saucer is going over the stadium, and he's in disbelief on that. That's one of my favorite moments.
I should rewatch it then.
Yeah, no, that's the best one of the series, obviously. But,
anyway, it was fun talking to you.
Yeah, thank you, Steven. Thanks for coming on. Always, by the way, you guys could always watch Statboy Steven on Rangers Review with Tyler, who also does the Wardy Mets channel, and everything is always good. You guys always say such positive things about us. We always need to return that favor for you.
I told Tyler to watch Frequency, by the way.
Nice. Oh, he never watched Frequency? Oh, wow. All right, yeah, you definitely got to watch Frequency. If you're a Mets fan, so especially there aren't many movies about the Mets, and that's trust me, I would love to write one, and I could, basing it around the 2007 collapse. It sounds like it would be bad. I guarantee it would be quite good. And I would do it. I would do it from this point of view. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I would do it. The main character is the guy that dresses as Mr. Met.
Nice. It reminds me of one of the Friends episodes where they want Phoebe to watch some happy movies because every movie she watches sucks, and she goes, "Yeah, I watched Pride of the Yankees. You think it's a Yankee pride? Boom, guy gets Lou Gehrig disease." And Chandler goes, "The guy's name was Lou Gehrig. That thing didn't give it away."
Because if I remember that episode, it's because her mom used to always cut off the movies before the tragic ending. Old Yeller, Bambi, that was great. And then she did the reverse for It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, you think it's a movie about Yankee pride? Boom, guy gets Lou Gehrig disease.
It was Lou Gehrig. It was about Lou Gehrig. Oh. All right, I'll have to recommend some more baseball movies for you. Field of Dreams, obviously, is one
I've
that
seen
I
that
recommend.
One.
Yeah. Any of the ones with Kevin Costner are always good. Bull Durham.
I've seen A League of Their Own. I've seen A League of Their Own. I've seen Moneyball, though it's not as good as people make it out to be.
Nope.
It's not a bad movie. It's just not a great movie.
No, it's also where I keep on pointing out that they had a lot of good players on that team, but they throw them on the rug for the movie.
Yeah, I love baseball movies that have some kind of link with history, like based on real events, etc. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the one that has to leave, so I'm
I know. I got it.
I'm gonna blink last. I'm gonna sit this out easy.
No, but I am gonna have to. All right. Because we could talk about baseball movies again. Actually, I would love to even come on and talk to you guys about baseball movies.
Remember an hour ago, you asked me if I wanted to stay on for another 10 minutes?
Another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes. We were supposed to go to I think 3:13. So I definitely am going to have to do some sit-ups in my room and try to figure out because I go to work early on Mondays too because we have 2 dart leagues that come in. So that's And by the way, David, that line also, what are the chances of getting Lou Gehrig's disease?
Yeah.
I think that was from the movie Father's Day with Billy Crystal and Robin Williams as well. But
I think Billy Crystal is the one who directed the movie 61.
Yes, he did. Billy Crystal directed 61. I love that ending of 61 where they say, what was it? What was the pitch? Fastball. Was it fast enough? And greatest season of our lives, and we'll never do it again. And as he hits the ball, it goes right to Marc McGuire's home run. That was 62. It's such a great cut. And I think I did a line of the greatest baseball years ago, a note on Facebook, if I could find it. Greatest moments in baseball movies. And I really am leaving soon, people. But number one I had is The Natural when he hits it and into the lights, and the lights are it. Do you ever see The Natural, Steven?
No.
Okay. The Natural, Robert Redford. He hits the game-winning home run. You have to see it. It's possibly the most poetic baseball moment I could ever think of. I think I had number 3, and it was 8 Men Out when Cusack goes to see DB Sweeney at the end of the movie, and that he was just playing in minor league ballparks. Because even in Field of Dreams, they talked about that. Hey Son, You Want to Have a Catch was number 2. That was still amazing for Field of Dreams, and because I it's it's so easy to reel me back in because there's so many things. I talk. That's what I do for a living anyway. So Benchwarmers was my favorite baseball movie. There was a great one. There was the pool hall scene when Tim Robbins is saying I'm getting called up in Bull Durham is fantastic because Kevin Costner, who's got the all-time minor league home run record, is saying if I just hit one more dying quail every single day, then my average is up and I would have been in the big leagues full time. That's what it takes. And then of course, then them having to cut him, that was even worse. So There's so many great ones. Jake Taylor faking the bunt. See, this is all the things we got to talk
By
about.
the way, there's a YouTube channel of a former baseball player, Antonelli Antonelli, I think.
Yeah, look it up and send it to me.
Let me see. Let me quickly check. Yeah, I'd have to look. I think it's Matt Antonelli.
Okay.
He has a YouTube channel where he answers questions from fans about stuff that I would love to ask hockey players about. Like he goes into detail about how in the minor leagues you have to pay for your own baseball bats. If you break one, you have to replace it yourself. Whereas if you play in the major league, then the team will give you like 500 bats. Doesn't matter. You can give them away. You can do whatever you want with them. He goes into detail about what it's like going on the road for a game. You know, how per diems work, how escrow works. It's so fascinating. If you're into like the behind the scenes stuff of baseball, the business side of baseball, that YouTube channel is I would highly recommend it. I enjoy that YouTube channel, and I have seen one baseball game in my life, but I love the intrigue and the behind the scenes stuff of just pro sports in general.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I read the CBA when I'm bored.
That's why, but that's why we get to go to you. It's like, hey, you have a question on the CBA? Get Statboy Steven on the line.
One day, someone's.
I mean, Valaket thinks that.
One day, someone's going to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the $500,000 question will be CBA related, and my phone will ring.
But knowing my luck, it'll be like the off hours or stuff like that. I still think that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the first guy that ever won it, the most ballsy move ever.
Oh, yeah.
Phoning his dad and saying, "I'm about to win the $1 million."
Yeah.
That's still the greatest.
He was just phoning a friend just to call his dad. That's.
Yeah. Oh, that is the greatest. All right, so I got to find that list of great moments in baseball movies, and let's see how many of them you watched. Because I mean, baseball has worked so well for sport, the cinema, and I mean, I still got to do stuff for the Hockey Channel, like the best hockey movies. I might even just do it, just individual videos for each hockey movie. So,
so here you go. It's Antonelli Baseball, 197,000 subscribers on YouTube. There's videos titled "How and When You Get Paid in MLB," "What Gear Do You Get in MLB," "Why I Never Got Called Back Up in the MLB," "Team Rules," "Traveling with the Team," "How Much Are You Getting Paid when you get called up." All that business side stuff of Major League Baseball. He goes into detail on it, and it's if you're into that stuff, then you can just get lost on that YouTube channel for an entire weekend, because there's really good content on there.
Well, I just subscribed to him. My brother Rob still loves to play in tournaments, and he's probably going to get me back to play. I haven't played a baseball game since 2021. So it is about 2 years when the country started reopening. And the reason why is because I started working Saturday nights, and I work a Sunday morning, have a Sunday morning baseball league. And the worst part is I actually felt I developed great as a player. So that's.
But look, the Players Tribune, most hockey fans will know it because it's such a fucking awesome website.
Yeah.
They basically have articles written by current and former players. And Sean Avery wrote an article about the Avery rule, where he wants to introduce this rule where a percentage of your salary gets put into a fund so you don't go bankrupt before you retire. Justin Abdelkader talks about graduating from college while playing pro hockey for the Detroit Red Wings. It's for me, it's very intriguing because it gives you a little bit of insight into the life of an NHL player.
And it is, and that's where it's so great about it. And obviously, some of the other articles we're going to think about is like the Dan Carcillo article, the John Tavares goodbye letter to the Islanders.
This is why when I do my prospect interviews, I ask them questions like, "Who was the best player you ever played with growing up? which coach did you learn the most from? And also trivial questions like your jersey number, is there a story behind it? That's always the easiest one. But, I like to find connections. I found out that Ryder Corsac practices in the off seasons with Jordan Eberle because Jordan Eberle was coached by his dad when Jordan Eberle was a kid.
That's awesome. Yeah. It blew my mind, and I've brought this up numerous times on the podcast since I found this out. But last year after the draft, my high school coach, Bill Alonge, put out a Facebook status. And I've known now Bill for a while because he's been coming down to the bar. And I still call him Coach. I can't call him by his actual name. But anyway, he said, congratulations to Luke Hughes on being drafted by the New Jersey Devils. He gets to play with his brother Jack. I remember when I used to coach their Uncle Marty. And my first thought was, oh my God, wait, the Marty Hughes that I played with he went on to play Boston College, has a goal in the Frozen Four, and he won a championship with them in 2000, or was it 99? And guy went on to great things. I think he's last I Googled, he's an NHL ref. But this great player, who's the uncle of the Hughes brothers, was the one that I had to play, and he was that good. If he was, I say this all the time, he was playing the NHL now, he'd be in the league. But he played in the 90s, and everybody had to be 6'10" and 400 pounds. So,
when Jágr left the NHL, do you know who the last player from the 1990 draft was to still be active on the ice in the NHL? There's the last player from the 1990 draft to still be active on the ice in the NHL.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think of it. I think I'm going to know this. It's not Owen Nolan's. Matt Sundin?
It's Wes McCauley.
Oh, because he's a ref.
The last player from the 1990 draft to be active on the ice in the NHL. I use my words very carefully there. I picked my words carefully.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. And you know what? Let me see if I still got this real quick since I got it up here.
When does that gym close, by the way?
Oh, now I'm going to be just self-loathing. That's usually my thing. All right. I talked about it before, what your jersey collection says about you, but there it is. This is my old Hicksville hockey jersey. I still have it. I still wear it when I'm sick. There's my 43. So
Tom Wilson, nice.
Tom Wilson has ruined that number. Damn you, Tom Wilson. You soiled my number. Ally Afraidy wore that number. Connor Sheary wore that number. I am not helping my case.
Martin Baron let in 9 goals with that number.
Yes. But also Marty Baron had a hell of a career too. So yeah. I had to put up that I was in the 43 club with him. So yeah, I still gotta do that. Get on out there.
Why 43?
Because when I was younger, I believed. And oh yeah. Well, Tom, were you at any of the alumni games? The last one I remember was like 7 or 8 years ago. I still got it was the turtleneck with the Hicksville hockey thing on there. I wear it when I play golf sometimes. Chris G, by the way, thank you. So by the way, the story behind 43 was if I ever became a New York Ranger, my lucky number was 7. So you couldn't wear 7, so I split the number up.
So you went with 7 times 7, and then just lost luck.
No, that's 49.
Yeah.
But that would be interesting. But I went with split it up. You had 61, 16, 25 was too common. 52 was Adam Foote. 34 was Beezer. 43. Oh, that's me. And I'd keep baseball. I'd be 17 for Keith Hernandez. But God, thank God I didn't click on that one. But yeah, all right. So you were right after me. Because I was with Paul Catanzarilla and hold on, getting rid of this bot, getting rid of Oh, these fucking things. Yeah, I was with Paul Catazria, Mike Stein, Timmy Kirkostas. But there was some overlap. Drew Berner, good player. There was a lot of guys, and a lot of these guys went on to play Apple Corps. And Timmy is amazing. Timmy's son is actually being a scouter right now. I have to shoot him a message, but Timmy played for Norwich College, and he was a hell of a player. But KD, I would love to get you right there. So yeah, some people just do. I wear, like Dominic is saying right here, 13 because of Sundin. Do you have a number?
Well, if I was a hockey player and I had to pick a number, I'd go with either 42, because that's the year my grandma was born.
Okay, good one.
First 5 years of my life, I lived with my grandparents. Or either 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97, 47, 41, 43, 53, as long as it's a prime number, because I like prime numbers.
Okay. So now we got that. Statboy Steven likes prime numbers.
I just like math. I'm a geek. I know. I like. There's this YouTube channel called Number File. Oh my god, I can lose myself for hours on that channel.
I am reneging and saying I'm going another 12 minutes. 4:30 is the latest I can go.
Number File is like, if you like math, if you're like a math kid, go onto YouTube and look up Number File. NUMBERPHILE. If I had to pick a number because of a player, it would be 93 because of Peter Nedved, who was my favorite NHL player growing up.
He had such a wicked wrist shot. It's just I wish the two memories.
Nedved was tailor-made for hockey in the salary cap era. His style of hockey would fit perfectly today.
Yeah. Yeah. He also played for 3 different Olympic teams, or was it 2? He played for Canada in '94.
Technically, he played for 3 national teams.
Yeah, what was the third one? I forgot that.
He played for Czechoslovakia.
Got that.
Then he played for Canada after he went through naturalization. That's why he played with number 93, because he was given a Canadian passport in 1993.
Ah, okay.
And then he played, I think 2006, played for the Czech Republic, which technically is a different country, even though they're on the same banner and the same license as the old Czechoslovakia, I think.
What are they being called now? What was it? Chechnya?
No, not Chechnya. That's a region in Russia.
In Russia, yeah.
Czechia.
Okay. All right.
Which is more in line with what Germanic languages call the country.
Okay, well, that's good. See, learn new things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, we could do an entire show about geography if you want to. I mean, I can talk about anything.
We'll have to put that on a different channel. So,
yes.
Yeah, we'll make up a geography. Well, by the way, Steven, you'd be happy to know I brought up Luxembourg last night. So, yeah, I was talking about, what was it? We were talking about businesses, because a friend of mine is, he's running right now a very successful palm tree business. And I just kind of turned to him and said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And a friend of mine goes, oh, where's your crown? I'm like, well, I got Big Apple Hockey. I mean, sure, it's like being the president of Luxembourg, but still, there's still weight on that crown. So, and by the way, also, I did bring up the John Oliver joke of, if you Google interesting Luxembourg facts, it just says no. So
that's much better than Googling blue waffles.
A friend of mine put that in my face one time. I nearly threw up on him.
So we have this thing at work where if someone leaves their laptop unlocked, we go onto their laptop, go onto Amazon.com and fill fill their basket with like sex items, like dildos, vibrators, etc., and then remove them again because your browser history is what determines your ads. So then the guy gets ads for like sex toys on his work laptop.
Oh my God.
And he doesn't
you
know
were
where it comes
evil.
from because we deleted it from the cart afterwards.
So by the way, Tom is asking right here, Steven, is Kratov ever going to play another game for the New York Rangers?
I don't know. Jesse Puljujarvi said he would never play for the Oilers again, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Jonathan Drouin was hiding in his mom's basement in Montreal and still played a full season for the Tampa Bay Lightning before they traded him.
Yep.
It would be in the team's best interest if he plays for the Rangers again because he could work up his trade value. Look, Steve Yzerman didn't trade Drouin the first moment he could because he would have gotten zero for him. Instead, he had Drouin play a whole season, put up 50 points, and they traded him for Sergachev. That's the scenario I want to go for. If you want to trade Kravtsov, let him work up his value first.
By the way, it's a shame that Sergachev trade really didn't work out. That Sergachev hasn't panned out at all for the Lightning.
Yeah, terrible trade. Terrible
trade. Terrible trade. It's like
I don't know. Maybe Montreal wants him. We have Gorton is the GM there. Bobrov works there now, so who knows?
There you go. There's another one.
I'll take Jan Mishak in exchange, please.
I mean, there's so many. You never know on a prospect. I think a friend of mine once said there's no such thing as a pitching prospect because you never know how long their careers will go, or a prospect is just a prospect. So it's
speaking of Montreal and Russians, they have a defenseman called Romanov. And there was a game, I think it was the World Juniors, where he went down after a hit with 19 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock, and I couldn't resist. And I joked that he's not the first Romanov to go down in 1917.
Oh boy.
Sorry, that's a history.
I love a good history joke like that. Oh boy. But then there's and even if you could tie it back to Natasha Romanoff, so there's another one. If that was even the same year as Avengers Endgame. So by the way, so that's your homework. You have to watch The Natural. The Natural is a great baseball movie.
I'll download it.
Yeah. It's
I pay for streaming services. I download everything.
And that's just cold.
Yeah, so was Romanov's body afterwards.
Oh boy. The good thing is that hopefully YouTube can't strike us down for something of 105-year-old
years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's spreading misinformation. No, it's 105 years ago. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about that by now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if we're not allowed to joke about that, what can we joke about?
No. Well, the humor is going to be dead within 2 years. That's coming too. I just got a message right now. I have a friend of mine doing victory laps about Barry Trotz being fired. It still boggles my mind. Can't believe that.
Do you know the worst? No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not gonna tell another joke. I had one lined up, but nah. It's not 100 years ago yet.
Tom, to answer the question, no. Barry Trotz is not. It's not a good call.
Good call for everyone playing the Islanders.
Yeah, it's good for everybody else. Like realistically, who could you bring in? Paul Maurice? This is a team that, you know what? I didn't go off about this in the Barry Trotz video, and I probably should have. They don't have Stanley Cup expectations anymore. That's where it's going to come down to. So Barry Trotz, congratulations. Now you're not a Stanley Cup contender. Because they would have been with Barry Trotz. Joke. It's a joke. Now it's going to be who's going to be better. Yeah, David Quinn. Yeah, David Quinn. We are definitely going to get Anthony's opinion on this, so I'll ask him to put something up.
The Flyers. Wait, is Alain Vigneault still in Philly?
No, Mike. He was fired from Mike Yeo, and then they just let Mike Yeo go.
Yogo.
I didn't even realize that.
I'm a poet, and I don't even know it.
Yogo. It's short for you only go once.
I mean,
so the Islanders could technically hire Alain Vigneault.
Yeah, and I keep laughing about that one.
Just hire David Quinn as your assistant, please. Just
blow up UBS Arena while you're at it.
And whoever hires Trotz as the coach, can you hire Torts as the assistant coach? Because I just want to hear Sam Rosen talk about
those. Just say Trotz and Torts.
Yeah, I just want to hear Sam Rosen talk about those two in the same game.
Yeah, that would absolutely be priceless.
By the way, there's a player on the Flint Firebirds who plays with Brennan Othman, whose name is Gavin Hayes. Man, I really want the Rangers to draft him just for Sam Rosen.
When the Rangers drafted Nils Lundqvist, didn't they have a Lundqvist, and a Lundqvist?
Yeah, they had Henrik Lundqvist, Michael Lindqvist, and Nils Lundqvist with a K.
Yeah, they obviously wanted to torture Sam Rosen.
They also had Jared Stoll, Marc Stahl, and Victor Stahlberg at the same time.
Oh my shit! I forgot all about that. That was 2016.
And Oscar Lindberg.
Yeah.
Stoll, Stahl, Stahlberg, Lindberg.
Yeah.
Somehow Sam Rosen survived that.
Well, because Sam Rosen's still a legend and a professional. That is the answer.
He's an absolute legend. Yes.
Yes. That's why when people talked about the end of John Tortorella, it's when he snapped at Sam Rosen. That's when everybody in the press corps went, "Oh!" It wasn't Larry Brooks. Everyone's yelled at Larry Brooks.
Dan Boyle is a hero forever for calling Larry Brooks a clown.
Yeah. Like, that was one of my favorite.
He literally said, "I want him out and the other fucking clown, Brett, whatever the fuck his name is, Brett Sergalis."
Yeah,
that's my favorite locker room interview, topping the Sean Avery sloppy second one.
Like, and then the Sean Avery one just came out of nowhere. You're like, what?
And my third favorite locker room interview is the one, I think it's with McDavid, where Puljujarvi is eating pizza like he just had an aneurysm. My
favorite player interview forever will be Peyton Manning at, I think it's the 2000. Oh wait, might be the 2005 Pro Bowl, where Jim Gray walks up to him to ask him about Mike Vanderjagt's comments, the kicker for the Colts at the time. And Peyton Manning, just before he could finish the question, go, "I'm about to throw a touchdown to Jerry Rice in the Super Bowl. Jerry Rice in the Pro Bowl. And I got to answer questions because my idiot kicker got liquored up and ran his mouth off." And since then, I mean, I got to find that soundbite. That is still one. Yeah. And Core, I got to say this. This one is actually, I know why you're saying that, because that's one of the more recent ones. I hate that part because he was being standoffish, but the reporter was trying to get him.
Reporters have no clue what a toll it has on players when they come up with these stupid questions.
Yeah,
I do not blame Leon Draisaitl for that response at all. I support Leon Draisaitl for saying that.
Yeah, and it's just, that's why I almost don't want to be in a scrum, because I don't want to be the guy to ask the question.
The reporter for the Bruins, his name is something Snacks with Hags, or no, Hacks with Hags, but everyone calls him Snacks with Hags because Marchand once tweeted that he should spend more time watching a game and not hanging around at the snack car. Haggerty, I think is his name. He said something about DeBrusque's mom, and then DeBrusque's mom on Twitter commented that it was bullshit.
Yeah, that's like one of those. That's like one of those fights I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick the fights with the people off the ice, but and somehow, if I recall correctly, by the way, this was another one. AZ brought this one up when Mike Ditka was in the States. I said, actually, why are you so unhappy? And Mike Ditka saying, if you were 2-5, you'd be pissed too.
One of my all-time favorite interviews from a football coach is Jim Mora. You know, the famous playoffs quote.
Playoffs. You know about playoffs.
I hope we can win
another game
and another one.
So I mean, there's
this documentary series the NFL has, A Football Life.
Mm-hmm.
My God, I wish the NHL would do something like that. Give me some documentaries like A Hockey Life, or have like 32 episodes where you have a drone fly through the arenas, like the Rangers did a couple of days ago on Twitter. Did you see that video?
Yeah. No, I did not. I got to see that.
I'll send it to you. I have a drone flying into Madison Square Garden, through the locker room, onto the ice, jumbotron, retired numbers, everything. It's awesome. Anyway,
great. I'd love to see it.
The NHL needs to create more content. But Jim Mora was interviewed for his Football Life documentary, and he talks about how kids from all over the country send him his football cards with a letter to ask them to sign it, and if he could write playoffs on it. He's like, I sign it. I never write playoffs on it. I don't want that to be my legacy, even though I'm worried that it already is. And then he talks about being at a Starbucks and he's ordering a coffee, and there's like this guy standing next to him, and he's on the phone, and this guy looks at him and he goes, playoffs, and he goes, oh, shut up.
See, you know what? There's other ones. He was like a soundbite machine, and yes, everybody's gonna remember.
His son was a terrible coach. His son ruined the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Mora Jr. wasn't as good, and by the way, not really good with UCLA. But the other one that he had was when he was with the Saints. And he said, you might think you know what was going on, but you don't know diddly poo. You might think you know, but you don't know. And he's just going around to every single reporter. I mean, for Torts was the gem of interviews, as AZ says right here, of I am so sick and tired of hearing about their whining superstars.
Yeah.
And just he went right after the Penguins. Yeah. And Tortorella,
most arrogant organization in the league is what he called them.
Yeah. I mean, how did you not want to run through a wall for that guy? John Tortorella was ready to go fight the entire Calgary Flames for the Vancouver Canucks.
The only problem Tortorella has is that he has a short shelf life as a coach, because he wears out his welcome quickly because of the way he coaches. But as a person, and my fiance says this all the time, and other Ranger fans have mentioned this, as a person, there hasn't been a nicer coach in the last 15, 20 years. When Tortorella was the Rangers coach, he did like this dog run.
Oh, and he still does it, if I recall correctly.
In Central Park. The Rangers don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But he did it every year. You know, Ranger fans would meet up with players, go for a run. There would be dogs there. You know, people would adopt dogs from a shelter. They would raise money for the dog shelter. John Tortorella is one of the nicest guys in the NHL, but people don't know because all they see is this rugged exterior of him being an asshole when the camera's on.
Yeah. And he was the winningest coach in NHL history up until almost did it again. Laviolette passed him. So,
by the way, I hate the word winningest. It sounds like a 3-year-old made it up. It doesn't sound like an actual word. It's such a stupid word. Winningest.
It is.
It's like
it's still a word.
Sounds like something a 3-year-old makes up who cannot think of the actual word. Most successful. No, we'll go with winningest. It's such a stupid word. I'm sorry.
No, but you're 100% right. So it's one of those things you're like, that's
winningest. What is the opposite of winningest?
Losingest.
losingest? Is there a losingest coach? Probably David Quinn.
Yeah. Not according to David Quinn, I can tell you that one. Trotz knows how to coach many different systems in hockey. Lou wanted a defensive coach and got it from Trotz. Yes. I mean, I'm the winningest, you're the losingest 3-year-old Steven.
Yeah.
John McKay, we didn't make a block. But again, Tortorella, just some of those they were just such gems. I don't know. The Flyers have their pick of a coach right now. I think, by the way, this is going to be a question I'm probably going to have for Wednesday's show with Anthony, but I'll throw this one at you, Steven. Beer shot or buying everybody around, Rick Tocchet, it will be the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh, that's a good one. I think I think they're gonna go with it. Maybe. I don't know. What did the three mean again?
Beer, so-so, shot, no, or no confidence is, I need a shot, and buying everybody around.
Okay, I'll probably go with beer. It's possible, but they could just as easily go for John Tortorella.
Yeah, there you go. There's a beer for you right there. I am actually going to say I'm going to buy everybody around. I think it's, if they go lineage, they're going to go with him. And the bots are back. But fortunately for me, guys, we have reached actually my limit. At 3:15, I was trying to get off. Steven, and you guys got me on till 4:40.
Don't talk about getting off. That's just wrong.
Yeah, well, phrasing. Well, it's bad enough that's what these bots want. So, anyway, guys. So yes, I do have to cut it off here because I have to go get dinner. So I have to do that right now because my night's starting. And guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you again, Steven, for joining me. And just, you know what, whenever you want to come on, feel free to do that. Hopefully, it's on a better day. Oh, dude, you're right. It is. And by the way, how do you strip without clothing?
I want to say the longest 10 minutes of my life, but I was married to a witch for a year and a half. So no.
No, well, yeah. Well, by the way, Steven, so every guy in a relationship has to feel like the New York Rangers in this series, where they're just looking over going, you're in trouble. Go to the penalty box. What did I do? You know what you did. I don't know what I did. So sorry. So sorry to some people that the Seinfeld sketch will not get done today. Of the penalties about nothing was what I was gonna do.
I've been divorced for 12 years, and I still managed to piss off my ex-wife once a year.
Yeah. Today is actually my ex-fiance's birthday.
Because I wish her happy anniversary on the anniversary of our divorce every year. And she always gets upset.
What's the anniversary?
Sorry?
What's the anniversary?
The anniversary is actually anniversary is April 20th, which is also Hitler's birthday.
Well, you can't text her and say Happy Hitler Day. So.
Oh, happy anniversary. She goes, oh, you're doing this again? Well, it's April 20th.
Oh God. No, it's Mike, it's even better when it's not me. Oh boy. All right. What's worse, Hitler or your marriage? No, well, actually, it's also 420. So maybe all of them have it to go in there. Hitler's birthday, great evil, divorce, and then fire up a joint. So there you go.
Oh yeah, 420. I mean, we don't have that here.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. I was like, wait, is that Earth Day? No, 420, you idiot. Yeah. All right, guys. So I have to go pick up a sandwich and get to eat some stuff. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Steven, again. Rangers Review on that's actually the name of the channel now. I keep on saying Rangers Review on Wardy NHL, but it's just Rangers Review. I don't even have to say more. Thank you, Tyler. It's actually easier. So guys, so thank you very much.
By the way,
And again, I will have to message you about the natural and the
I
very
hope the
end
Rangers-
Randy Newman score.
I hope the Rangers score more goals than you at sign-offs tonight, because then we'll be fine.
If that's the case, then we've covered the over right away.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you again, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Good night.
Ooh.